Now we move on to selecting posterior teeth. Posterior teeth can be selected based on size, buccolingual width, mesiodistal and occlusal gingival height. Buccolingual width means the buccolingual width of the tooth itself should not exceed that of the ridge width. The reason being, if you have an increased occlusal table, a wider occlusal table, there are going to be more forces transported outside the ridge, and that is undesirable. Mesodistal width for lower arch behind the canine and till the retromolar pad, anterior to the retromolar pad, and for the upper arch behind the canine, anterior to the tuberosity. You're not supposed to keep teeth right on top of the retromolar pad or the tuberosity. Occlusal gingival height means the intra space. So selecting posterior tooth based on forms, you can select based on condyle inclination, ridge height, age, and ridge relation. So for increased ridge height, the interspace will be less, so you need shorter teeth. Whereas for shorter ridges, there will be more space between them, you need taller teeth. For more aged patients, they will have lesser neuromuscular coordination. You can give monoplane teeth that will have more freedom of movement. That will be more comfortable for the patient also. And ridge relation is important as well. Mostly the mandibular ridge falls in line or within the maxillary ridge. You'll give a normal class 1 relation. Whereas for some patients, in case of advanced resorption, the mandibular ridge seems to lie outside the maxillary ridge. For those cases, you need to give a crossbite relation. So moving on, we see the types of posterior teeth. They are classified based on cuspal angles. So based on cuspal angles, we can say that there are three types: anatomic, semi-anatomic, and non-anatomic types. Anatomic teeth have 33 degrees or 30 degrees cuspal angles. The 30-degree teeth are called Pilkington-Turner teeth. The semi-anatomic teeth have 20-degree cuspal angulations. The most common ones in the market have 22 degrees and 10 degrees. And non-anatomic teeth have less than 10 degrees, more commonly 0-degree teeth. So there are special tooth forms as well. These are more of historic interest, except the Guy's crossbite. The Sears channel tooth has a channel in the upper tooth and a ridge in the lower tooth. The Avery scissor bite is similar to the channel tooth, but the only difference being that the ridges run buccolingually. Hall's inverted cusp has a cusp pointed inwards and not outwards like a natural tooth. And Myosin true cusp has a lot of sluice ways. Nelson's chopping block has two ridges in the upper and the lower tooth. There are no channels or sluice ways. Swenson's non-lock tooth and Guy's crossbite. Guy's crossbite is still available in the market. Ivoclar markets it. It is known as K-type teeth. For patients who have crossbite relation with your ridges, you can provide these teeth. Then there's Vitellium occlusal. It is simple denture teeth with a metal ribbon inserted in the occlusal surface. And co-masticators. The co-masticator has a hole in the buccal surface where food is allowed to come out so that you can clean the tooth and maintain it. And then the cutter bars. And that's the end of posterior tooth forms. So thank you.